Now we're talking about some of the void stuff. So we talked about how to take on the blocks if we're in phase with the difference, but now we're going to work on a void. So when we get into our void stuff, we talk about it in a couple of different ways. So this is basically simulating the kickoff guy on the front line, working back to block a kickoff guy running down the field. And we talk about our terms heavy and loose. At this point right here, as you can see, the guy that's representing the kickoff return guy is kind of loose on the string. He's not in position to make that block. He's not the ball me man from a perspective where he's in line and on that string with that defender. So at that point, we're going to try to stay somewhere, in our lane without getting way moved out of our lanes. And in this situation right here, he's going to pry and stack and get back in position and win on that block. So 41 does a really good job of prying and stacking, avoiding, and getting back in position to be able to make a play on the ball carrier. This is an example where 37 doesn't do a very good job. Pretty much the same deal. He tries to pry and stack, but what he does is he tries to set that move too early. He doesn't step on his toes. He doesn't get him to get the blocker back on his heels. And as you can see, 37 is kind of in no man's land. And at this point right here, he gets washed outside the cones. And that's one thing you don't want, because once he's washed outside the cones, the ball is going to hit through here. So as you look at it, you got to make sure that you really, really press that blocker on kickoff return, get him to lean one way or the other, and then get back and stack him as quick as you possibly can. Now, when that blocker is in a position where he is heavy and he's getting overplaying it. So you can see right now, the guy in the black jersey is working really hard to get square on the string. But at this point right here, if I pause it, he overplays it. Now, once he overplays it, we want to be able to stick and go back door. So as you can see right here, he does a really good job of putting that outside foot in the ground and stick and work back door, and then clearing his hands and getting back in the lane. So again, being able to take those techniques and those tools at the junction point, whether, hey, I got to pry and stack on this one, or hey, I got an opportunity to stick back door, is very, very vital. And giving our players those tools and put them in their toolbox to be able to pull those out when necessary. Again, right here, we got a situation where he's kind of working really heavy, and it's just quick stick back door and back in phase. As you watch right here, really good job. The guy coming down, highlighted on kickoff. Excellent depiction of what it looks like. With this guy's a little heavy, he overplays it. So he's in position to block. Oh, he overplays. He runs past him at that point right there on the logo. So he's able to stick back door, little long arm throw by, and put himself in position to make the tackle. So really, really good job of using, again, taking those tools in the avoid and knowing when, hey, should I play through this block? Should I pry and stack? But you can see right now, this guy's really overplayed it. And now it's a situation where it's easy stick back door. And now I'm in position to make that tackle. And I really stayed in the lane that I was responsible for. I picked this up from a coach that worked in the NFL. We talked about it. And it really, from a kickoff perspective, to me, it really spoke volumes to me. He said, my job as a kickoff player is to own my 5. And what he meant by that is if I'm running down in a lane, I really take up about a yard of space. If I'm able to defend 2 yards to my right and 2 yards to my left, it makes it really simple. So like from my perspective, I'm a kickoff guy, man. That's it. That's all I got to do is own 5 yards. So really some of the landmark guys, if you're talking about, man, I got to own 5 yards, that should be no problem. I'm able to handle, nobody's going to run in my 5-yard box.